My three closest friends did quite a bit of time. I was what they call throwing rocks at the penitentiary. Had a 1.7 grade point average, so I was flunking out of school.
But I mean, how'd you get back in again?
My mother was very aggressive and talkative.
And as I was turning around, a hand was coming. Pow!
Life has taught me to just try and be the best that I can be.
She never gave up on me. Never gave up on me. And she had a lot of reason to.
My three closest friends did quite a bit of time.
Really?
Oh yeah, in decades.
My mother, I thought her purpose in life was to just embarrass me. She'd come get me on the street at any time, and everybody knew that, you know, I had to be home a little earlier and that my mother was always on my case. And so she came to get me, and they were like, yo, D, your mom is here, man. She's sitting here in the driver's seat, I'm here. All the kids are over there. I mean, she's screaming at me, going crazy. And so I turned to the kids and just looked like, you know, Mom. And as I was turning around, a hand was coming. Pow! And I just remember going down under the dashboard. Just had my head down. I said, Mom, just drive, please. Just
take me home.
Because I knew if I stood up and looked back out, everybody was probably on the ground, you know, crying and laughing. But, you know, I don't want to say who's laughing now, but I know that she never gave up on me. Never gave up on me. And she had a lot of reason to.
So in the 9th grade, she got me into a private school, and my three closest friends started heading further and further in another direction, and my mother had enough sense to get me out of that situation before it was going to be my turn.
We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Denzel Washington.
I want to thank the Academy. And God bless you, my mother. I love you. My mom. I didn't wear a tie. I'm sorry. I want to thank my mother. She's 95 years old now. She's something else. She's tough. Everything ends because I'm your mother. That's why. Shut up. Still, the other day. What you think is a successful career, understand that it's hard work, humility, and a lot of love from family and all those who made a sacrifice so that I could be in this position.
At a certain point, I realized how much my mother loved me and the sacrifices she was willing to make for me.
My mother taught me to just try and be the best that I can be. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
I never witnessed the happy years between my mom and my dad. I only saw the downward spiral.
My dad almost killed me one time. When I was younger, I couldn't swim. My dad said, boy, you better stop playing, get in that water and swim. That's no damn serious. Nobody ever taught me how to swim. My dad picked me up, grabbed me, threw me in 7 feet. As soon as I hit the water, I started to die immediately. This is why my dad an asshole. This is what my dad said. Hey, you better not fucking drown.
You have thrown your son in a pool in which he almost dies. You steal a police dog. You ruin your son's spelling bee competition.
Yeah.
All those true?
Yeah.
Were you stoned at the time?
My dad took me to the wrong camp and left me there.
Oh my.
The reason why I am the way I am is because my mom was strong.
As a single mother, I think we never knew how hard she was struggling.
You know, of course, there was disappointment. Damn, I thought Dad was coming to pick us up today. Or, damn, man, I ain't seen Dad in I don't know how long. He not picking up the phone. He's not answering the calls. It may have affected my mom, but my mom was such a strong woman that she said, look, regardless of what your father's doing and where he is, I have a job to do in raising you.
She figured that if she can keep me off the streets, then I wouldn't turn out like him. She had more strength and fight in her than any woman that I've ever met. She's a beast. She's a different animal.
And she helped you out financially, didn't she?
Yes, she did. She supported me. I haven't paid my rent in like a month. I'm like, Mom, you know, the rent, where's the rent at? She's like, are you reading your Bible? I said, Mom, come on. I don't have time to talk about that right now, Mom. I'm late. Like, I need the rent money. Are you reading your Bible? Mom, no. When you read your Bible, then we'll talk about rent. A month goes by. I get eviction notice on my door. They're about to kick me out. I'm like, Mom, I go to her house. I got the eviction notice. She said, talk to me when you read your Bible. I can't talk to you right now. I just leave. I go home. I said, man, let me open this Bible up. Open the Bible up. 6 rent checks fall out. She put all my rent checks. From that 6 months throughout the rest of the year, they were all there.
That's the love of your life. Mother's everything. Mom is everything.
Kevin getting his act together. He wants y'all to see how he dances. He's gonna act stupid for you for a while.
Ovarian cancer. Bad as a death sentence. Mom passed away. So my mom never came to any shows. Never, not one time.
My mom passed away 5 years ago. We're at the funeral. Funeral was almost over. So I'm on the right side. I got the casket over here. My brother's on the left side. He's got the casket over there. Keep in mind, it's my mother, and it's a funeral, so I'm emotional. I'm crying. I'm a mess. No. No. She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. So this is why my dad's an asshole. My dad see me crying. My dad stood up, punched me in the back of the head. Stop being a bitch.
With my dad, I've had the feeling of absent father. I got to witness my mom want more and go after more. There's a high level of success that goes behind the brand of Kevin Hart.
It's the best or nothing else. That's my mindset.
Your dad's on the road a lot.
I do miss him when he's not around. I just wanted to call you and tell you happy birthday.
I love you, man. You having a good time?
Yeah.
There is a way to do more, to get more, to obtain more. But I personally don't want to lose all that I've been able to get. So I need to make sure that I do everything to keep it.
He is not human. He's a machine. I will say that. He can go on 2-3 hours no sleep.
You know the last time you showered?
When?
The day before yesterday. My husband has not bathed in 2 days. You ain't home. You've been out.
There's times where I tell him to slow down, but it's just in him. He's a hustler. He's not going to just sit down and be content. He has to keep going.
Would it be better for Nico and the kids if I would stop touring? Of course. They want me home. But my response is, ain't gonna be no goddamn home. I'm doing it for you guys. So I can't be content.
Actor and comedian Kevin Hart had to be hospitalized after being badly hurt in a Calabasas car crash.
Kevin Hart now recovers from back surgery.
He suffered 3 fractures in his spine.
Basically, what you realize is that you're not in control. No matter how much you think you're in control, you're not in control. And at the end of the day, it can all be over, man. You know, when you're moving too fast and you're doing too much, sometimes you can't see the things that you're meant to see. But after my accident, I see things differently. I see life from a whole new perspective. I know what it's like not to be a good dad. I learned that because of the mistakes that my dad made. I'm the same way with my kids. I know what that is. I know what it feels like. Because of that, I bust my ass getting back to see my kids. I don't know who my dad's dad was. I can tell you that he is the way he is for a reason. You gotta understand you're a product of your environment. When you can kick an addiction, that's evolving. I have no grudge. I have no hate. I have no resentment. The older you get, the more you mature. And I can say right now I'm at the highest level of maturity I've ever been in my life. And I gotta say it's because of this man right here. You know, me and my dad's relationship now has developed into an amazing relationship.
I'm proud of what he's become. I'm glad God granted me the time to stay here to see.
And I remember the days where my dad was there when I was younger, and those were some of the best days ever. With my kids, you know, I make sure I nurture it from the ground up. The way that the child lights up, I don't ever want to lose that light up. So I talk, I communicate, This is our little family. That last name Hart right here. If we don't try to make this last name mean something, then we have nothing that's going to live on. My last name means something now, but it's because we made it mean something. Nothing beats the relationship that you have with your kids.
My father was an alcoholic. We come home and we were scared to death, man. With the stories about you hear the car pull up. It's like, man, what we gonna do?
You're a big, powerful man. Why didn't you say it as it is? I think it's important.
My earliest memory is my father hitting my mother in the face as hard as he could. And I remember seeing her on the floor and then looking at him, this giant of a man who I thought, my God, he says he loves her. What is he gonna do to me? And all I could think, how I want to protect her. How I want to protect her. And I said, I gotta be strong. And I gotta get strength. Because nobody is gonna do my mother like that again. But when I discovered working out, and I went in that gym, I was about 13. I stayed in there and 2 dumbbells and just kept doing it. It was what I wanted because I could control myself. I could control my life. A few years later, this was years later, I took my whole family back from LA to Flint. We call this Christmas from Hell. I brought them back, and my girls were smaller then. I told my father, I said, hey, don't act up. So do not get drunk and do not act up. Oh man, I know, I understand, just come on back. So we leave the kids with my parents, my mother, father, and we go out with some friends that we know, and we headed to Detroit, and we're gonna have a good time. I get a phone call. It's Terry, your father hit your mom. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. I just had this conversation. Man. What are you doing? I got on the phone, I said, okay, I'm a grown ass man now. Now I'm a grown ass man. I'm not 5 anymore. I already know what's up. Get everybody out the house, take them over to our aunt's house. We get to the house, first of all, I tell my mom to go, he knocked her too sideways. It's okay, Ma, go over to aunt's house. He's sitting in the bedroom, like, ain't nothing happened. I said, so what's going on? Nothing. I said, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you not to act up? Didn't I tell you? Bam! I hit him. And this is the thing. Now, this is what I want everybody to get. I didn't feel better. It didn't work. I thought that was all I needed to do. Yeah. And I sat down on the bed and I just started crying, man. I was just like, it didn't work. It didn't work. And I said, man, I thought if I could just make you feel what everybody else felt, then you would understand, and now everybody's cool. Then it would clean me up. But it didn't, CT. It didn't. I felt worse. Because the thing is, with all this stuff, with all this shit, you have to rise above. But I didn't. And I beat his ass. But my wife, for years, prepared me. She said, Terry, you cannot handle these kind of things with violence. You can't hit back.
Terry Crews testified in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Now, it was back in October that Terry admitted that he was assaulted by a Hollywood agent.
The assault lasted only minutes. But what he was effectively telling me was that he held the power. that he was in control.
I reached my hand out and he takes his right hand and under mine and I jump back like, hey! And then he comes back again and grabs me again. And I slap his hand away, push him back more forcefully. I felt nothing but rage.
The first reaction was to be violent. And I immediately held back.
Why weren't you? You're a big, powerful man. Why didn't you? Say it as it is. I think it's important.
My wife, for years, prepared me. She said, if you ever get goaded, if you ever get prodded, if you ever have anyone try to push you into any kind of situation, don't be violent.
The thing that calmed me down more than anything, my wife kept holding my hand. She kept grabbing my arm and said, I'm proud of you. Right now, I'm so thankful that I went the other way. You can choose the good or choose the bad. You don't have to settle for, well, this is what we did, this is how we are. You didn't come from your parents, you came through them. So you do not have to take the stuff that they had.
And this is the deal. This is the deal. We have to speak up. We have to speak up.
And I learned that strength is not about picking things up and throwing people around and knocking people out. The strength comes from standing up